Hey cats, it's Ed, Midsole here. I've got a real banger for you today. Recently, over on the community section of the channel, I ran a poll to try and calculate the best and worst running shoes from the viewers over 2023. I've crunched the numbers. Let's get into the stats and see if there's any surprises. Lots and lots of responses on the poll this time around. I think I've done this like for maybe 3 or 4 years. Always really interesting to see what viewers are actually wearing, rather than, you know, some person on Instagram holding up a shoe. There were over 200 different models mentioned by the viewers. Just goes to show how many shoes are out there. First, a quick top 5 of the worst running shoes as voted by the viewers of the channel. At number 5 in terms of worst shoes, it was the New Balance Fresh Foam More 4. Some people felt that this shoe was just simply too soft for them. Imagine Mr. Soft in the Tree Ball advert, but times 10. Quite amazing really that people want cushion, they want that soft feeling, but this one almost had too much of it, and that is a trait that we will see appear again later in this video. In joint 4th position, we got 2 shoes here. The Super Blast from Asics, that had about 5% of the vote. There were quite a few shoes actually that some people really loved or they really hated. Many viewers did mention that the shoe was okay, but that higher retail price meant that it just wasn't really worth it in terms of value. The other shoe in joint 4th position was the Adidas Prime X2 Strung. People found that one just far too bulky, just too costly really, and not on par with the original version of the Prime X Strung. It is a sad fact, but people didn't like that shoe as much this time around, and I was one of them. In 3rd position, can you guess what it is? It's the Asics Gel Nimbus 25. This had 8.8% of all of the votes. People found it comfortable enough, but just a bit clunky underfoot, maybe a little bit too warm as well and hot in that plush upper design. In 2nd place, this time with 10.5% of the votes, it was the Asics Nova Blast 3. Now, I'm a bit staggered to see this shoe appear on the worst shoes list. Viewers did like the lightness of the shoe this time around with the Nova Blast 3, but the grip from the outsole was not to everybody's liking, nor was the feel of the shoe, which people found hard to get on with this time around. Is it that midsole material? Have they gone too soft and brittle now? I remember the first version had a sort of more rubbery feeling to it. Either way, it's moved along from the first version. I think they kind of were onto something there, but I think we've got another Asics shoe that might appear later that I think people enjoy more. In 1st place with a whopping 17.5% of the votes, it's the Nike Invincible Run 3. I'm not surprised to see this one so high up this time around. Lots of people didn't get on with this shoe. It's a bit of a Marmite offering. You either love it or you hate it. The upper design on this version wasn't to everybody's taste, though I didn't find any issues with it myself. It did seem to affect some runners and they found it really hard to dial in that lockdown over the top of the foot. A lot of people had heel slip as well. I ran in it for 100 miles and I sold it on. Wasn't really the sort of shoe I was going to persist with. It was pretty much just like the other two really. Got no real urge to keep one in the collection either this time round. It's just more of like an energy sponge really, rather than something that feels that exciting to run in. Okay, that's all the bad vibes out the way. The naughty list, if you want to call it that. Let's hit it now for the best in the world. Well, I mean, my viewers are the best in the world. Here's the favourites for 2023. Now, you might say some of these shoes aren't shoes that were released in 2023. I'm not really too interested in that. What I want to know is, what are people actually using on foot out there? Actual real folks. You know, some people are saying, I've used this shoe, it's the greatest one ever, and it came out last week. Well, okay. Maybe if you're running in it in 6 months' time, we'll see. Scraping in with 4% of the vote this time round. At number 10, it's the Endorphin Elite from SAUCONY. People love the fit, they love the lightness, and that super forgiving yet sort of firmer ride that you get in the Endorphin Elite with the Power Run HG. I love my pair. It will certainly be up there in terms of my top 10 list for the year. That one will be coming at you in the Christmas build-up. I've been building up for Christmas for, you know, about a month. When you've got small children, you know, they're really into it, so you gotta be too, right? So number 10 in the viewers' best running shoes of 2023 is the Endorphin Elite from SAUCONY. The SAUCONY Endorphin Speed 3 is another shoe that you guys have been enjoying this year. Just narrowly beat the Endorphin Elite for percentage. It's a model that keeps on with that popularity that it's had over the last few years. I think it's down to the lightness and the generally quite fun ride you get from the Endorphin Speed. You know, there's a lot of more refined models out there, a little bit more stable, I suppose. Probably similar in price and use case, but everyone loves the fancy free speed. Though I don't think it's quite as popular as the Endorphin Speed 1 and 2 were when they were released. So at position 9, it's the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. At position number 8, we've got the Vaporfly 3 from Nike. I think we had about 5% of the votes here went towards this shoe. I don't think it's got quite as much favour from the viewers as some of its predecessors have. I think that's the exciting nature of seeing what people are actually using out there on a more sort of daily basis for their standard miles, maybe some speed sessions as well. The Vaporfly is here on the list, but quite a bit lower than I perhaps expected it to appear. I've enjoyed my pair, but it's certainly not perfect by any stretch. That upper was just huge, especially around the toe box area. I had some fun in this one, did a bit of racing in it too. Sounds like you guys have been digging it as well, and you've probably managed to pick up a cheaper pair over the recent Black Friday discounts. So at position number 8, the Vaporfly 3 from Nike. We got a Puma shoe at position 7 with about 5.5% of the votes, the Deviate Nitro 2. Shoe that's been around for a while, but it just keeps on giving. It's a bit like a subscription to the Jelly of the Month Club. This is not a shoe that you would want to drive out into the middle of nowhere and leave for dead. A real banger. There's enough cushion here to do pretty much anything really. You can do some long run miles in it, some easier stuff, some speed sessions. It's just a great do-it-all Swiss Army shoe. And of course you've got Puma grip on the outsole for the win, and a magic price as well. Puma nailed it on this one, and the viewers know it too. The Puma Deviate Nitro 2, position 7. Before we get to that big top 5, at position 6 is the Endorphin Pro 3 from Saucony. This had about 6.2% of the votes overall. Rightly so, there's been some banging discounts on this model over the last few months actually. This is a really great race option, but with that additional durability from the Power Run PB foam, you can use it in training too and still sleep at night. I think it just makes the shoe a little bit more enticing to use on a more sort of daily basis. I think it's a testament to Saucony's design that it's actually lasted this long in the rotation as well. Just got a bit more shelf life about the Endorphin Pro 3. They got it right, and it's a firm viewer favourite in 2023. Position number 6 just missed out on the big top 5. We're into the top 5 now, people. If you're enjoying the video today, make sure you hit that subscribe button, but also give this video a thumbs up like. Danke schön. So no position 5 because we have a joint 4th place. The Takumi Sen 9 and the Adios Pro 3. They both received about 7.4% of all the votes. They seem to be real favourites amongst the running community out there. Light Strike Pro material in the midsole of both of those shoes, and they've got that for the win. The durability, of course, is probably one of the better foams for that. It's a slightly firmer feel, but still very propulsive. The outsole on both of those was very durable to boot, and we've seen many a bargain on these over 2023 as well. I think these were down to about £150 at one point, which is an absolute steal. The Adi Zero line is certainly a fun range to run in. So joint 4th position for the Sen 9 and also the Adios Pro 3 from the 3 Stripe brand. I hope we don't get some sort of shoe avalanche behind me. Beast is here and causing havoc, so if there's some strange camera stuff going on, I'm sorry about that, but it's down to her. You know, and she's 13 odd years old now, so, you know, we'll give her a break. At position number 3, it's another Adidas shoe, the Adi Zero Boston 12. Now, this model wasn't great over the last couple of years, but they've really redeemed themselves with some design changes here in the Boston 12 that just make it an absolute banger. A real return to form. There's about 9.9% of all the votes go to the Boston 12 this time round. Really popular model. I think it's down to the sort of do-it-all nature of the shoe and a really great price point too. I remember some super runs actually that I had in the Boston 12. You know those runs you just got a big smile on your face. You feel like you could smash through a brick wall. So this one's right up there in my estimations, and a shoe I can heartily recommend to you in 2023. So position 3 for the Boston 12. In second place, it's another SAUCONY shoe, the wonderful Triumph 21. In fact, there are a whole bunch of votes for the Triumph series in general, the 20 and the 21. People seem to love the midsole here, that Power Run Plus stuff. It's just got the right balance there between squash and stability. And it's really durable too. It's just got a little notch of extra durability over Power Run PB. It's just been a really great stick it on and get out there to run sort of shoe. You don't have to worry about, you know, the grip or the lockdown or anything really. It just does lots of things very well. It seems like many viewers have got a whole bunch of miles out of these shoes. I think it had about 10.5% of the votes. And I think it's one of the better looking shoes of 2023 as well. Just got a really nice, beautiful running shoe profile. So at position 2, the Triumph 21 from SAUCONY. So, what is the king of the running shoes as voted by the viewers of the channel for 2023? With a colossal 12.3% of the votes, it's one of the most expensive non-race shoes out there, but it's not stopped people from picking it up and enjoying it. The Asics Super Blast. I took my time in reviewing this shoe, but I'm really glad that I did. It's certainly one of my top models of the year. It's durable, it's fun to run in, super light, and there's a really nice, amazing level of cushion there. You don't seem to have any heft to it as well, even though there's quite a lot of midsole stack and width here. A lot of the viewers mentioned that they've had trouble finding the shoe in their size. It does seem to be quite rare and sort of difficult to locate. Though when people do get it, they've said that they've got hundreds of miles or kilometers out of it before it's capitulated. Sometimes they've just felt that they need a new pair because they want that fresh sort of feeling again and to continue using it in the rotation. So it is the topmost used viewer shoe in 2023, the Asics Super Blast. Humorous that this one appears in both the worst and best lists, but I guess you can't please everyone all of the time, right? Did you miss the poll? Let me know your bangers and mush midsoles down in the comments. I will be coming in with my top 10 shoes of 2023 very, very soon, so keep your eyes peeled. Musical interlude for you. Very sad to hear about the passing of Shane MacGowan. Certainly one of my sort of most favourite Christmas songs, sung by him, of course, and Kirsty MacColl. Not many songs have such a distinct style about them. You know, the instant you hear the song, it has a certain sort of emotional feel for you. I can remember hearing that as a young kid, and it's always stayed with me, that beautiful piano intro. There's a few songs in the world, isn't there, that are like that. You hear them, you instantly know. And he had, of course, a very distinct vocal style as well that I really enjoyed. Characterful. You just know it's him. It's not one of these sort of manufactured pop stars that just all sound the same. Or at least, you know, their auto-tune all sounds the same. So, yeah, it gives another element, another sort of angle to the song, I suppose. Now you'll hear it, especially this time of year, right around sort of losing him really, and it's going to mean that little bit more. Very great production on the Fairy Tale of New York as well, really light and open, quite a magical sort of sound, and a beautiful outro as well, where they step down the sort of rhythm, just change things up there at the end. One of those melodies that sticks with you as soon as you hear it, and it never really leaves. Glad that he'll be remembered though in this fantastic Christmas tune. R.I.P. Shane MacGowan. Thanks for tuning in, people. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you are yet to do so, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up like. My name's Eddbud, and I'll be seeing you